So here's a quick one that any of you guys out there that had a girlfriend that you're with a long time and you felt like you had a great thing going, you're really in love with her, and out like that, she dumped you, kicked you to the curb, was heartless, and tossed you away, and you went through hell to recover, and then one day she came back and you had the last laugh and said, not happening. You'll enjoy this story. Title: I, a 25-year-old female, deeply regret breaking up with my boyfriend of 5 years. And you'll see in the story, guys, this gal here had a great boyfriend, multiple fronts, and just tossed him to the side of the road when her friends and family convinced her she could do better, and amongst many other things. She says here, I met my boyfriend in college when I was 19 years old. I had limited experience with men prior to the start of our relationship. He was the most caring, giving, loyal person I had ever met. He was like the boy version of me. He came to love me deeply, and I came to love him deeply as well. Well, hey, this sounds like a magical story, and why screw it up? I moved to a new city after college to be with him. We lived together throughout the pandemic. Issues arose, and I found myself thinking of straying, as I had never had any other relationships before, so I was full of the curiosity that may come with being on my own for a while and gaining more independence. Gaining more independence, that means carousel riding. Over the months, these feelings intensified and caused issues in our relationship. Now I gotta wonder if this was a result of being stuck in the same apartment or house during the early days of the pandemic and everything like that, and even the best couples can get on each other's nerves, but it's no reason to do what she did here. On top of all this, I was surrounded by family and friends who insinuated that I could do better than him and that I should not tie myself down so young. Now, I got no problem with somebody not getting tied down so young. People do that it's way too common. But if you met someone that really treated you well, like gold, and I would say not too well like kissing your ass, but someone that's loyal and reliable and all that, then at least you can be with that individual and take your time. You don't have to get married or anything, but take your time, experience life, grow up with that person. But notice the friends and family. You can do better. You deserve more. For whatever reason, these people were very adamant in trying to get me to break up with him. Maybe also they don't like to see you so happy. Is that possible? As my feelings of confusion and a long for the unfamiliar intensified, these people were more persistent in telling me that I should break up with him. I lost my job one day, and on somewhat of a whim, I packed my things and drove home to my parents' house in a different city. I'll never forget the look on his face when I left. He got on his knees and sobbed as I drove away. Smack! I get he was hurting, and I understand, but no guy should do that. He'd been planning to ask me to marry him in the coming months. Whew. Well, he dodged a big one. When I came home, I was very unemotional about the whole thing. I can't explain why. I don't know, because you're the ice queen? I think I was kind of in denial that I had actually left him and was starting my new life on my own. In the next 2 to 3 months, I occupied myself with a new job and friends and didn't think about my situation. I even visited him occasionally and still was unemotional about the fact that I'd left. So she went and visited him after all this, and she's still like the ice queen. This guy was obviously so worn down and sad that he obviously thought maybe I can win her back or something like that. One day, it hit me like a brick. I started having nightmares and panic attacks. During my lunch break at work, I would go to my car to just cry. I still do this every day. I reached out to him and apologized, crying and pleading. He told me that he'd moved on. Tough shit, honey. That he could never forgive me for leaving so suddenly. The people who were very adamant that I leave him were not there for me when I started feeling like this. There you go. I think that the people that talked her into leaving him and manipulated her were no doubt unhappy in their lives, were probably jealous as of all hell that she was that happy, that good of a guy, and so they knew what strings to pull to get her to dump him, and there you go. But she chose to do that. It's her fault. Your own personal responsibility for actions. I feel like I just made the worst mistake of my life. Words cannot explain how much I love this man. Well, you had a funny way of showing it, honey. How much he completed me and made me a better person. How guilty I feel for letting him down when he was the only person in my life who never betrayed me in some way. This kind of reminds me of the situation, guys, where I got to interrupt here, where when you have a gal who clearly has a habit of dating guys that treat her like crap, she dates the bad boys and all that, and then you have a guy that actually treats her well like a human being, a lot of times they may start with a guy like that and then eventually resent the guy and dump him, and they will dump him, because in their mind, they're garbage. So when he treats her like a human being, like she loses respect for him, becomes actually have disdain for the guy, because how could he see me like that? I'm a piece of crap. And go back to the same type of guys and spend time with people that treat her like crap. All right? I think that's kind of going on here. Every day I'm realizing how empty daily activities are when I'm not sharing them with him. It's almost as if since was all I ever known, I needed his absence to realize how much he contributed to my happiness and well-being. Well, as the saying goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder. However, you blew it, honey. Tough shit. He was a good guy, and you broke his heart and could care less, and he moved on, and good for him. Why would he get back with you? So you can go do that again when you're feeling a little off, or when people manipulate you into doing something, because you're easily manipulated. I just turned 25, and I have no desire to date. A lot of people around me are getting married. Ding, ding, ding. I know that I only have so much time to find someone, as I'm a woman in the South. But I have absolutely no desire to date other people. I honestly never really did. I can't even explain why I left, as I do not fully understand why I did. Well, that makes it worse. If she had a serious reason for it, okay, he might understand that. But the fact is, like, I don't know. That sounds like a dumbass kid when a kid does something stupid and you're like, why'd you do that? And the kid's like, I don't know. I am hopeless, guilt-stricken, depressed, and sometimes have thoughts of ending it all. Don't end it all, for goodness sake. You're going to be fine. You're 25. I don't know what I'm asking for here. I just want to vent and let you all know something the dumper grieves just as much as the dumpy does in a breakup. Well, you're old enough to know you make your bed and you lie in it. You blew it. And the best thing you can do is learn from your mistake and never do this bullshit again. But something tells me she's not going to learn. But this guy, he dodged a big one. He could have married her, and then she could have gone through this shit after they got married, and then been married to her. Maybe had a kid on the way or something. So accountability. You make your bed and you lie. End of freaking story. And is she hurting? Sure. And maybe she truly is regretful. And maybe she'll learn a lesson and meet a better guy down the road for her. Who the hell knows? But the point is, guys, someone does that to you, cheats on you, dumps you just like that, like you never mattered, even though you were good to her and all that, and hopefully not too good, but, good because you thought you had reason to. They do that to you, do not take them back. Otherwise, the same shit will happen again. Because I guarantee if you take her back, same shit all over again, even though she's saying not.